We're gonna make the inside of this tractor look like new today. Welcome to the show. So friends, I've been looking at the inside of this for a little while here, and you know, as I mentioned before, it's really, other than just being completely filthy, and the carpet's got grass growing in it, all the cab foam is basically all still there, with the exception of a couple pieces, but this thing's still really quiet inside, guys, so that's okay with me. Now, like I said, otherwise, I might get sick riding in it for too long because it's in pretty bad shape, but I'm going to come through here and fix all this today and make it more habitable, let's say. And I'd like to do something with this radio because I got the radio in my 1805 and my 1155, and it's kind of nice to have a radio, especially when you can hear it. The 1155, not so much, but this has got to come out of here. And I've been kind of looking at this, and this is one big plastic piece on top of here. I'd hate to have to get all that off of there just to pull that radio, but if it's what we got to do, it's what we got to do. But it seems like to me, I'm going to find a way around that. Could go in through the roof, but that's all silicone shut and not very, I don't know. We'll get to that. But the main thing is, guys, is this tractor's pretty awful inside. And I would like it to not look like this. I'd like it, I mean, granted, they never stay that way very long, but if you keep after it, it's not so bad. Aside from a couple rips in that seat really ain't too bad a shape either. It's still comfortable to sit in. Again, needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but we can work through all that. I was fortunate enough to find a company that would make me some decals for this that didn't cost more than I paid for the tractor, so that's a good thing. I was up there looking at that pre-cleaner way up there. I think I can make that look better without... Do you guys have any idea how expensive that is? Especially being on that 8-inch hunk of tube. Unreal. So I'm going to make that look better than it does. Speaking of expenses, y'all know I got this muffler on here. It's got kind of a... it's got a pretty good weep hole for, that's so the water can just run straight through. Well, that's not a cheap muffler. That, again, between that and that, I'd have more than I paid for this tractor into it, so I'm going to fix that a little differently too. Aside from that, there's the only hole in the top of it is that hole right there that's supposed to be there, which needs a pipe hook to it. So I think what I'm going to do, friends, here, get this, I mean, it's still... It ain't that bad. I got life left in this. I just need to fix a few things. So I thought if I pulled the muffler off, set it down on a piece of sheet metal and drew a circle and welded a piece in there and then put a pipe on it with a flapper, hey, for maybe $100, I got a muffler. And even if I did buy the muffler, it still don't come with the pipe, I don't think. It just comes, I'm gonna take care of that. And it ain't gonna cost $800. Like I said, I got some decals coming for it. Friends, probably not going to be buffing on it today, but that will come in a very near future episode, most likely. I'm going to concentrate on just getting the inside of this thing looking a little bit more spick and span than it did, and on the cheap. Not going to spend thousands of dollars. I'm not going to spend thousands on anything on this tractor until these tires start falling off in the middle of the field, which that could happen sooner than later. But never mind that now. I said my concerns today, that muffler and the inside of this tractor looking a little bit less like it than it does right now. So let's get at her. Now, just thinking out loud, I might have pulled the seat on this a little bit prematurely, but can't get the back of this thing very clean with the seat in the way. And I think I'm going to start from the back, work my way to the front, and see what we can do here. Now, friends, I don't have, like I said, I don't really have any logical way of how I'm going to do this. But I think what works best is take this broom, sweep stuff, vacuum stuff. Every little bit helps. Let's see what happens. Well, look who decided to come and give her inspection. Where are you going there, CAT scan? Yeah, I don't blame you. I would be hiding from there too. Although I think there's mice in there. The cleaner I get that, the more mouse-like it smells. Figure that one out. Okay. Now that I got that mess out of there, oh, there's a bottle. I'm gonna get my vacuum and at least vacuum up that floor. Then we'll start with the heavy stuff. You find something in there? Yeah, get a good look there, kitty cat. Vacuum with this. And probably this. Let me get that vacuumed out of there. Think someone don't like the vacuum. All right, I'll let you go. Don't catch mice out there. Friends, if you were curious just how much came out of there, I emptied this before I started. That's like a whole acre right there. That's a lot of yummies. Now, granted, I got a long ways to go on this, guys. I promise you, this is not the worst tractor I've ever had to clean out inside. When I got my 1805, I filled that little shop vac 3 times. I'm not kidding you, 3 times. There was that much just laying on top of that big dashboard. So, hey, we're doing all right. Well, let's get with the rest of the program. I'm going to use a couple different things. I've got this mass airflow sensor cleaner, which has basically replaced a brake cleaner in my life, because if you know, you know. But a lot of this stuff's going to be a little bit more than glass cleaner can handle. But I'm going to try it. I got a whole roll of towels. I need a seat. Okay, got a chair. Here we go with the cleaning process. You guys, like I said, I'm just going to start from the back and work my way up. I don't think there's going to be any rhyme or reason to this. I'm just going to start spraying stuff until I can't breathe. And I'm going to wipe it all down and see how much better it gets, is all I can do. Take a look at that very fine 80s wood grain just coming right back to life. Okay, this was a non-smoking tractor. Let's keep it that way. Oh my, I needed to vacuum a little more back there. Keep working my way around here. Stuff like peroxide, does it bubble up more when it's extra dirty? I don't know how I feel about all that. Hi everybody, holy cow, look at that. Oh, missed a spot. Better. Guys, this tractor is becoming unrecognizable real fast. Oh my goodness. Kind of hate to take it out and get dirty now. But I'm gonna, don't worry. Friends, this old tractor, I know this is pretty hard to see, so you just have to take my word for it. But, I mean, that's easy to see, especially now that it ain't covered in stuff. This old girl's cleaned up pretty good, with the exception of one part. Still gotta hit this part here. I mean, that's where I'm gonna be staring all day, whether I want to or not. So Yeah, look at all them scrubbing bubbles doing their job. Oh my. Oh my. Now granted, some of my 1980s trailer house wood grain is coming off. Still looks pretty darn good. Well, so there. That's pretty much it, guys. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect, but remember what we started with when I came in here. This has come miles and miles ahead. Now, I get that radio out, see if I can get me some tunes in here, because I like to listen to a little bit of radio when I'm working. Granted, I'm going to be listening to less of it, because now that I've got the power and speed of the 895, my tillage is going to be going so fast. But might as well have something to listen to. At least I won't get bored with what radio is on. All right, well, next thing, if I can get this. And again, friends, I don't know how this is going to work out, because short of pulling this whole thing down, it looks like this radio might be a little more of a challenge to get out of here. But maybe once I get this face off of here, that'll maybe not prove to be the case, but we're going to find out. Okay, well, how about that? Interesting. Well, my gut tells me that's just not coming out this way. Let me study that a little bit more. And well, friends, kind of as I expected, you know, this is just like one of these Ford Super Duties. Everything's super easy. You just got to take the cab off. Not quite the whole cab, but that looks pretty terrible. But you know what? Let's just get him out of the way for now. It looks like I can bring that shop vac up here and really do a lot of sucking and blowing in here, because there's a lot going on in here. Looks like this thing had air conditioning at once upon a time. Although there's an air compressor, but it ain't the compressor I need to make this work. But I don't know. Maybe if I can at least get these fans here to blow. I don't know. I might be asking for a miracle on that one. We'll see. But my main concern, here's the radio. So all I got to do is pop a couple screws out of there and just get this radio right out and put a new one in and keep it from getting wet, because that clearly has happened more than once on this. Clearly. Well, you can't win them all, guys. Well, friends, just like before, I think before I get too crazy up here, definitely time to do some serious removal. There's still more evictions to be made, but for right now, I mean, that'll, see if I can get this out of here. That'll keep too much of it from falling back inside where I just made all that stuff nice and clean. Okay. So, oh, there's a mouse nest. Let's get all that out of there again now. So, that's not so bad. This should be, what do we got here? I have to figure out which of those wires go where. There's an antenna. That's going to be important. Let's get you right here so I can. There, you stay out of the way. There's a speaker wire. There's another speaker wire. The rest of this, I don't think the rest of this stuff I'm too concerned about, because I don't think any of it even works. So that's fine too. Now let's. Okay, there's that. Now, like I said, I got this guy here. Pretty confident there's no power going here. I'll probably put some tape over this or just cut it off and tape it all up anyway. Just because I'm really not that sure. Maybe there is power going somewhere. But on top of that, friends, it would be kind of handy to see if there's any hot wires up here at all. Not that I think there is, but nothing up here works. I got no fans, no blower, no radio, obviously. The ignition key, well, that doesn't work clearly, so there probably is not any hot water. There's probably not any hot power up here, so I'm gonna have to find a way to get a source of power up here. No big deal, I can do that. Go from there, I bet you. The radio I put in my 1805 was one of them just regular square plate ones. I could probably make that work in here just the same. In fact, I'm very certain that I could make that work. So, yeah, looks like I got a plate here. I have to cut that out. No big deal. I don't know. I'll think of something. Now, what's next? This has got to go. I got to get this thing down. Basically, this isn't going to be that bad. I just got to get a new piece of this for it that's a little bit less crooked than this one is. And I think that'll work just fine. And get the muffler off. And get myself down from here for a 9th time today without hurting myself. Oh, the joys. Well, friends, I got my $20 Amazon radio in the mail today. There ain't much to this thing. They got this little plate here, which you have to cut a hole in the headliner, whatever. There's a lot of little things you can poke out here so to make sure it won't fall back out. And then this just snaps into that. They got a few plugs and wires here for you. They're pretty self-explanatory. Oop, in the owner's manual. They come with the remote, which I'm not going to need that. But big thing I am going to need, like I said, you got to make this plate fit in this hole up here. Be easier if I could sit down in here, but I can't. I'll get to that soon. But now, as you can see, it's kind of got an outline already. Let me see if I can. So that's pretty much where I got to cut out. There's a little metal plate behind here. I already pulled that out. I would worry about this plastic, but guys, this new radio weighs almost nothing. So, like I say, I'm going to cut it out, flip it in here, get it wired in, and let's see if we got some tunes in this tractor. Hey guys, I'm going to do the best I can here, I promise you. This ain't as easy as it may look. But we're going to just trace out the inside of this. Which ain't working out very well. Yep. And I'm going to try to cut around the outside of that line as best I can. And like I say, if I got to trim a little, I got to trim a little. But as long as this will fit through this hole, long and short of it, that's where I need it to be. I did this on my 1805, which was harder because this was all metal on the 1805 up in this region. This is at least plastic, so I mean, gives me a little bit more margin for error, but well, we'll see. Now I gotta keep my extension cord from falling out, so just wrap it around that steering column right there. Now guys, the other fun fact here, which you may not know, if you watch the videos on my 1800 where I put the tank, the hydraulic tank in the back of the tractor, this is what I used to cut that hole in that 3/8 plate steel in the back of that tractor to put the fill spout in. Just a fun fact, but nevertheless, I don't know how this is going to work, so I'm just gonna wing it. Okay, I think that might work. Let me get the radio. Let's see how this... Okay, that'll go in the hole. That's all I needed it to do. I'm gonna go up top, guys, pinch the tabs down to hold this thing in place, right where it's at. I'm gonna plug the wires into the back of this, wire it from the top, and this thing's gonna be good to go, I think. The wires on these are pretty self-explanatory, guys. They, I mean, you got a whole bunch of speaker wires right here, which I only have 2 speakers, so I unhooked 2 speaker wires. I could change that if they're not the right ones, but whatever. You got ground, power, power, which I wire these together because it's gonna have hot wire all the time, so whatever, it'll work. Snap this baby into place. Okay, well, she ain't falling out. I'm gonna go up top, connect about 3 wires, guys, and let's see what happens here. Guys, just like that, I don't wanna go too far, I'll get copyright, but this 1982 Versatile has got a Bluetooth radio in it. How about that? That's pretty good stuff. Well, time to get some carpet in her now. And guys, here's the part where you have to be a little bit creative. So obviously we got a shifter and 2 humps right here. Now I can measure out the distance for this hump, no problem. Cut that out. That one's gonna be a little more challenging because I got a shifter in the middle. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna measure out this hump, cut the appropriate amount out, flap this down in here, and then kind of wing it for that, you know, just wing it for that side. It'll be better than nothing, but that's what I'm gonna do. Bingo. Made a mess of my new carpet. So guys, you might see that I have a 4x6 piece of floor mat carpet laying out here. That's gonna be my new floor mat in that tractor. For the cost of $43 at Home Depot, you can buy a 4x6 piece of carpeted floor mat just like this. Now guys, I don't know what it costs to put a new floor mat in that tractor, but I'm guessing it's more than $43. And it wouldn't be something I could just go pick up in 1 minute at Home Depot, like I could this guy right here. So now, all I gotta do, measure out the inside of that cab, cut to fit, bingo. So guys, what I measure on there is basically 54 by 54. Now, one of those 54s is this way in that cab. The other 54 is obviously this way. But this 54, you got fenders in the front of this tractor that's gonna take up a little bit less real estate. So you have to figure out where you want your 54. The other part of that is there's a center console, which will not, I mean, I'm gonna throw a piece of carpet under there, the leftover of what's on here. But that console is gonna take up a good 12 to 14 inches right there. So basically I'm running a 48 by 54, which guess what? 48 is 4 feet. 4 feet by 6 feet. Guys, this is all gonna work out. All I gotta do is make a few snips. This thing is gonna be good to go. Bingo. There's even a line on this carpet right here where I need to cut it all the way across there. Cut's easy enough. And like I said, it's $40. I spent more than $40 on beer last week, so a carpet that's going to last me a long time in this tractor, very much worth it. 24, look, I'm right on the line again. Perfect. This line, 10 inches in. Right here. I'm going to cut this just like so. And I think at least this side will fit in. And then I can kind of cut around the shifter and the other part while I got it in there, I think. another piece gone. Now, actually, guys, I think I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna measure from this fender to this fender, cut out on this side whatever I don't need, and then it'll be a little bit easier to cut around that shifter once I get in there. Let me do that real quick. Okay. So, now with that being said here, I should have a pretty good mark. I should be able to trace out when I get this in here, kind of flop it around that shifter so I can cut out around the shifter. I'll have to put some holes in the floor for the seat to go in, obviously, but I think that's a pretty good place to start. Now, of course, you're gonna notice that's a little bit narrower. Like I said, she's only 48 across, but it's 52 or 54 this way. So all this, don't worry, we'll fix it, we'll figure it out. Like I said, guys, for 40 bucks, we're definitely gonna figure it out. Hole here, close enough. Come this way a little bit, about yay far, so, and that far. Might take a little finesse to get this thing sitting in here where you want it, guys, but trust me, it'll go. That's not bad. I can do a whole lot worse in here, I promise you that. Yeah. I like this already. Bingo. Well, friends, by golly, that's pretty darn good. No complaints. Now I gotta pull it back up around here so I can poke the holes in it for the seat, because I might as well put the seat back in. Everything else is, well, ain't super clean, but it's definitely as clean as it's gonna get. I got all these indemnities. I got radio. I got windshield wipers. I got cool air. Dash is clean. I can read that. Got tilt steering. I got tilt steering. I mean, guys, this is the Cadillac of tractors as far as I'm concerned. So let me take that seat, like I say, get some holes poked in the floor here so I can bolt the seat in, and we're gonna be golden. All right, friends, just so you can see, got 4 holes punched out where the bolt holes go. Got some new bolts. Now, tough part is, I gotta muscle that seat back in there. Now, granted, this ain't the best to see. I'll clean it once I get it back in there again. I mean, basically it's just the little accordions right there that need to be cleaned. Could throw a coat of paint at it, but I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm gonna get it back in this tractor. Problem is, guys, this outfit ain't light. And I can relate because I had the seat out of my Steiger. I had the seat out of my 1805. I've had the seat out of a lot of these tractors. I don't know what they put in these seats besides lead, but they're heavy. And it's gonna be a workout to get this back up in there. But I'm gonna do it. I am a strong, independent, middle-aged man. I'm gonna take that 900-pound seat, throw it back in that tractor like it wasn't even there. Maybe not that easy, but I'm gonna do the best I can. One way or another, this seat's going back in that tractor, and I ain't got anybody to help me with it, so, oh, son of a biscuit. Get her up on there. Regroup with the new plan. Okay. Get in there, you go. Sounds good. I knew she'd see it my way. Actually, friends, I can say that's lighter than the 1805 seat was. Maybe it wasn't lighter at all, I don't know. But it's in the hole. Let me bolt this thing down. I'm going to be pretty hard pressed to get that set going. No doubt about that. But whatever. She's miles ahead of where I started. All right, friends. So, all said and done, let's take a look at a little bit of progress we've made here. Don't need that getting run over. This was the extra glue. I'll just, don't know where I might need that. Now, I got a little bit of carpet left over. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. Not necessary. I got decals coming. I polished up the rest of this tank. Now, guys, I don't know that I'm going to devote a whole video to me buffing this entire tractor, but I'm going to do it in my spare time. So there's that. Granted, guarantee you, it's all going to look like that when it's done. I got my new decals coming. This is going to be one pretty little girl. I need to find some yellow paint. I'd love to touch up these wheels, even though the tires are junk. I'd love to find a little bit of this red paint so I can touch up that frame rail. That's it. I'd like to repaint that ladder yellow, although in minutes it will look just like that. But let's see what we've done here. Let's see what we've accomplished, guys. So I have a nice carpet in here. I got a comfortable seat. I got a radio that thinks it wants to be on Bluetooth or auxiliary. Radio. Oh, gonna shut her off. Don't want to get caught with copyright. Got wipers. I got a little squeaky, but I got a fan. This is clean. I don't care what you think. This is clean. This is miles ahead clean. All the cab foam in here. I did the best I could, guys. It's not perfect, but it's definitely miles ahead of where it came from. Got tilt steering. Got a shifter that's mostly working. Got a clutch pedal that really makes a man out of you to push in, but whatever. Not my biggest concern. Guys, I got a hell of a tractor here. So friends, I know I said I was going to work on that muffler and this air filter today. Not going to happen. I'm out of time today. But make no mistake, they will be in the next video. And this tractor is basically done. Like I said, I'm going to start buffing this thing in my spare time so that way it's polished up. I threw a tarp over this thing because when she's all said and done, I got no barn besides this one it's sitting in right now, which is my workshop, that will hold this thing. She just, the old Bertha tile, she's got too much hips for this thing. So, or any other barn that I have for that matter, and I'd rather leave this outside than my combines. Hate to say it, but my 4420 needs to live inside. That thing's been living inside its entire life. That's not going to change. Not for this tractor, not for anybody. But, nevertheless, guys, that's going to do it for me today. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.